If you're under 59 and still waiting to get serious about retirement planning, let me give it to you straight. You're wasting your biggest advantage, time. Most people in their 40s and 50s tell themselves, I've still got years to figure this out. And technically they're right, but here's what they don't realize. You see, every year that you delay costs you flexibility. Every year that you wait limits your tax options. And every year you postpone adds more pressure to your future self. I've seen this play out again and again. People with good incomes, solid savings, but no clear structure, no plan for taxes, no insulation from market losses, and no system to create lasting income. And by the time they finally get serious, they're facing RMDs, rising tax brackets, and less room to maneuver. So if you're under 59, this is your window. And it might be the last truly flexible window you get before retirement decisions become permanent. Hi, I'm Phil Gallant, president of the Optimist Group and author of Get Me to Zero. And I help people transition into retirement with strategy, not stress. And I do it by focusing on one core goal, getting to zero. Zero debt, zero income taxes, and zero market risk. In today's video, I'm going to give you my honest advice if you're in your 40s or 50s and still waiting to get your plan in place. We'll walk through why time is your most valuable asset right now and how to use it to set up a future that gives you real control, real confidence, and real financial freedom. And if that sounds like the kind of retirement you want to build, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. So let's get into it. First, the most powerful asset you have right now is time. Time isn't just about compounding growth. It's about having more control over how and when you make strategic moves. When you're under 59, you're not yet facing age-based restrictions like required minimum distributions. You also haven't triggered Social Security or Medicare, and that means that you can shape your income on your terms before thresholds start locking you in. So let me show you what I mean. A 55-year-old with $800,000 in a traditional IRA could begin gradually converting to a Roth, say $50,000 a year over 5 to 7 years. Now that's several $100,000 that's shifted from taxable forever to tax-free forever. Now compare that to someone who waits until 65 or later. Not only do they have less time, but every conversion they make now risks pushing them into a higher tax bracket or triggering Medicare premium surcharges. Time gives you margin, and the earlier you use it, the more powerful your retirement foundation becomes. Second, waiting almost always leads to higher taxes. One thing most people don't realize is that retirement doesn't eliminate taxes. It often increases them. Why? Because if all of your money is sitting in a pre-tax account like a 401k or a traditional IRA, then every withdrawal is taxed as income. And once RMDs kick in, typically starting around age 73, the IRS forces you to take out money whether you need it or not. Let's walk through a real-world example. Let's say a couple retires with $1.5 million in traditional IRA accounts, and they wait until age 73 to start drawing. And suddenly their combined RMDs are pushing them maybe $70,000 or more a year in RMDs. Add in Social Security, and now they're flirting with a 22 or 24% tax bracket, plus a potential tax and potentially up to 85% of their Social Security and maybe higher Medicare taxes. Now imagine if that same couple had started in their early 50s. They could have reduced their future taxable income or even eliminated it by targeting Roth conversions in lower tax years. They could have also used a specially designed insurance contract, what I like to call an SDIC, to build tax-free cash value, and they could pay off their mortgage early to reduce fixed income needs when they retire. You can either pay taxes by design now or by default later, and default usually costs more. Third, you don't have to choose between growth and protection. If you're under 59, you've probably been told to stay aggressive. Keep everything in equities. You've got time, ride out the volatility. But here's the truth most advisors really don't want to mention. Volatility in your 50s hurts you more than volatility in your 30s. Why? Because you're getting closer to the decumulation phase, when you start pulling money out of your retirement accounts. And if a market drop happens early in your retirement, it can create a snowball effect that's hard to recover from. This is called sequence of return risk, and it's one of the biggest threats retirees face. So what's the alternative? You don't have to abandon growth, but you do need to build in insulation. And that's why we often introduce SDICs at this stage, not just for tax-free income later, but as a non-correlated asset you can lean on when markets drop. Think of it like this. Your market-based accounts can focus on long-term growth. The money in your SDIC will provide stable, guaranteed cash value that you can access tax-free. And you've got a true income strategy, not just a diversified portfolio. It's not about avoiding the market. It's about removing your dependence on it. Number 4, freedom is built in the pre-retirement years. Retirement isn't just a finish line. It's a lifestyle. And whether that lifestyle feels peaceful or stressful really depends almost entirely on the decisions you make before you get there. By planning early, you can walk into retirement with zero debt because you used your highest earning years to pay off your liabilities. You can roll into retirement with tax-free income streams because you started Roth conversions before triggering Medicare and Social Security. You can also insulate your investments from market risk because you didn't wait till 65 to diversify, and you complete the control that you have over how and when you access your money. Contrast that with somebody who waits. They're entering retirement with mortgage payments. They're entering retirement with no Roth accounts, and they're entering retirement with no guaranteed income outside of Social Security. They also may have a portfolio that lives and dies by the market. Now, that's not freedom, that's fragility. And I say that not to scare you, but to wake you up, because the years leading up to 59 are your golden window. Use them right, and you can build a plan that gives you freedom of time, money, and purpose long before you retire. So here's the big takeaway. If you're under 59, you're in one of the most critical and opportunistic windows of your financial life. You still have time on your side. You still have flexibility. You still have options, but only if you use them. Because the longer you wait, the fewer strategic moves are available and the more likely you'll be forced to make decisions under pressure. I've seen it over and over again. Smart, successful people who waited too long to take control of their debt, who didn't realize how much they'd lose to taxes, and who thought their portfolio was their plan until the market dropped and then their income dropped with it. Doesn't have to be that way. This is exactly why I created the Get Me to Zero framework, to give you a clear, measurable way to retire with zero debt, to retire with zero income taxes or as low as possible, and to retire with zero market risk on your drawdown assets. Not hypothetically, not someday, but step by step in real life. And the truth is, you don't have to overhaul everything to get started. Sometimes it's one small adjustment that makes a big difference down the road. The key is simply this: don't wait. If you're in your 40s or 50s and want to make sure your retirement plan is built the right way and not just the traditional way, then let's talk. Click on the link in the description below to schedule a free consultation with me, and I'll walk you through your current structure, show you exactly where your tax traps might be and where the risks are hiding, and help you to map out a plan that gets you closer to zero with control, clarity, and confidence. Because the goal isn't just to retire. The goal is to retire with a system that works for you so you never have to wonder, did I miss something? I want to thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more thoughtful retirement planning insights. And I'll see you in the next video.